What is good, everybody? I believe that it is day 271 today. Today is Friday, and I'm headed to work for a 9 to 6 work shift. I got 9-hour shift. I got a whole bunch of food packed up in my bag. I got a sandwich, sausage balls. I got like some sweet stuff. I got cheese sticks, bananas. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really want to spend too much money until I get my next paycheck. If I get some money back from Mercari, then I might spend a little bit here and there and all that. But I just spent $155 literally yesterday while I was at the gym. I told y'all I ordered the third glass display case. That'll be here tomorrow is what it said. So I'll go ahead and build that, which it'll be pretty good. You know what I mean? And I told y'all I'm wanting to put one of my Marvel Hot Toys on each shelf. And then by the time I get done selling all my other stuff, hopefully I'll be buying that new Mandalorian Hot Toy, the one that I want. I relatively go for about 1 to 2 Hot Toys per shelf, like for the shelves I got and all that. So I feel like that looks pretty good. Anything over 2 is just kind of like extreme. Like you can't really see if you have 2 people in the front and 1 guy in the back. You won't really be able to see the guy in the back that much. But hey, man, I don't know. I think it'll look great though, my third glass display case and all that. And hey, I'll have more room if I want to buy some in the future. I told y'all that we might have a big upcoming week. I'm not sure yet. Reason why I say it's a big upcoming week is I could be working that second substitute teaching job. I put in my application on Wednesday and nothing's really went through yet. I imagine it could even take up to like a week or 2, but who knows. But I'm looking forward to getting to that. But it is like it's 8:48 right now. We're heading down the road. We're heading to the gym, like I said, for 9 to 6 work shift. I haven't woke up this early in a long time. I only woke up like 8 o'clock, but usually, besides the only times I wake up early is like for church, you know what I mean? But hey, man, it'll be alright. But like I said, big upcoming week. I got some new classes. I only have to go to class 1 day a week. I thought I had to go on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I only have to go on Tuesdays. So hey, I got me a little bit more hours, whether that's at the gym or at the school, doing substitute teaching. Hey, man, who knows? We'll just have to see. We will just have to see. I feel like I can make me a lot of good money. I told y'all that I'm hopefully I can make about above $2,000 every month just from working at the substitute teaching and then working at the gym. You know what I mean? So I'll be working like 50 hours a week. Most people, they work like 40 hours a week. But hey, man, I hate to say this, but in this society, in how expensive everything is nowadays, even if I'm working 50 hours a week, I still can't afford to, like, if I wanted, like, my own stuff, like my own place, and all that. But it's kind of sad how you could probably survive off of $2,000, but not comfortably, you know what I mean? You'd have to be budgeting and all that. You wouldn't have, I probably wouldn't have that much fun money, But hey, we'll have to see. I think we'll still be living at the house for now, But like I said, big upcoming week, potentially. Of course, I do have my new class on Tuesday every day, which is going to be relatively easy, I think. It's English composition, and then I'm taking weight training now, so I'm taking it's called Exploring Learning and Teaching class. It's about, it just teaches you about how you explore teaching and all that, how you learn, different archetypes for kids and all that. And I got my weight training class, which that's not really to do nothing with my degree. That's just a class like an elective that you have to take. And then also I got English composition. That's not nothing to do with my degree. That's just like a core class that I got to complete. But I told you I'm going to be transferring colleges probably this next, either this upcoming summer or the fall. Probably the fall for sure. And then, hey, man, hopefully I could do this substitute teaching 5 days a week if I really like it that much. That's a lot of good money to be made right there. But who knows? We'll just have to see about that. And of course, I still hope to be working at the gym. The gyms, I showed y'all yesterday, the gym is just such like a quiet environment where you can do schoolwork, you can just hang around, The only main thing that I have to do, like I said, is make sure that the gym is clean. What I mean clean is make sure that nothing's out of ordinary, make sure there's toilet paper in the bathroom and all that. And then after that, I literally just, if I want to work out or do schoolwork, then I can. Or I could just sit at the front desk and then just play on my phone, and then if somebody comes in, I sign them up. And then now, I get $10 for every person that I sign up. It's a pretty good motivator, But, alright, y'all, let's get headed down the road. I'll give y'all some updates throughout the day. I do got one package to drop off. I'm gonna get there right whenever the post office opens. The post office is like 30 seconds from the gym, I've told y'all. So they open up at 9, so I'm gonna go drop this off, run over to the gym, and all that good stuff. So, but I'll let y'all know how the shift goes, if we do anything in particular. Like I said, we'll be there for 9 hours. That's gonna be a very long time, so let's get headed down the road. We're at the gym now, everyone. It's about 9:30. I've been here for a couple minutes. You know, I just told y'all we dropped off the package, stopped by here. I'm about to go pick me up some Chick-fil-A, so I made me a sign here saying that staff will be back at 9:30, so in like 5 or 10 minutes. You know, it's literally just like 2 or 3 minutes down the road to Chick-fil-A. But let's head there, and it should be a pretty good shift. Guys, this is honestly one of the best things about this job is, you know, like if you work like a 9 to 5, you know, you get like a paid lunch break, you know, you get a lunch break every day. Like my job at the gym, you know, I don't necessarily get a lunch break, but I can leave just for like 10 or 15 minutes, go grab me some food and then head back there. You know what I mean? Which is honestly, it's pretty good. You know, I literally, like I said, I just put a little sign on the door saying staff will be back in like 9:30. Like for example, like I said, I'll be back in like 5 or 10 minutes literally. But hey man, let's go ahead to the Chick-fil-A. I got me a chicken biscuit and some hash browns, and then I might go grab some lunch at about like 12 to 1, 8, honestly, whenever I kind of get hungry, because I use my reward points on Chick-fil-A, because like I said, I don't really want to be spending that much money right now. I use my rewards points on the Chick-fil-A app, so I got quote-unquote free Chick-fil-A. Okay, I don't know what's going on right here. We're going to have to see about that. They got some construction going on, if y'all can kind of see, so we're going to have to do a little bit of detours and all that. But like I said, free Chick-fil-A meal, and then I'm also going to be getting me some free, let's just turn right here. I usually go straight there, but they got stuff going on. We'll turn left up here in a minute. But free Chick-fil-A meal for the breakfast, and then also I got reward points on Zaxby's, so I think we're going to go get some Zaxby's around 12 or 1. But let's go get us some good food. We just arrived at the Chick-fil-A, everyone, so let's head in. Let's go get our food, and we'll be heading back to the gym. All right, guys, it's about 1 o'clock now, so we're 4 hours into the 9-hour work shift, and I just got a call from the boss. He told me that he would like me to come in 10 to 2. Hey, man, that's pretty good, you know. I'm going to be working close to 30 hours a week again like I was before, you know. But instead of only working like 4 or 5 days a week, I'm now working 6, which is kind of crazy. Yo, I've signed up, I think, 7 people this whole week. That's crazy. If the commission stuff is like right with everything he was saying, that's an extra $70 added on per week, man. It's pretty crazy, but like I said, we're just gonna have to see. I'm gonna get my first check on Wednesday. He told me I'll get my checks on Wednesdays for like this first month, and then after that he's gonna get me situated on like the payroll and all that, you know, like direct deposit into my account and all that stuff. And he said he's gonna get me every Monday, like that's how it used to be. But hey man, like I said, we're 4 hours in and I've been signing up a lot of people. You know, this is pretty good for me. You know, we'll have to see how I want to balance the substitute teaching with this, you know, because like this, it's so easy, it's quiet, I can chill. Like I've been watching Captain America, the Winter Soldier, that movie for the past hours. I've been pausing it here and there when people got to sign up, you know. But it's relatively easy, you know what I mean? But like I said, we're going to have to balance between the substitute teaching and this, because this is a really good job, you know, making all that commission. You know, like I said, if I work like 30 hours in a week, that's like roughly $230 after taxes. And let's just say add on 70 to that, you know, tax-free. I'm looking upwards to $300 to $400 a week, man, which is pretty crazy, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'll give you updates throughout the day. We're going to be hitting an upper body workout later. I do have to do a school assignment, so I'm going to get onto that pretty soon. But hey, just wanted to go ahead and update y'all, man. This is pretty crazy. It is now about 2:30, everyone. We got 4.5 hours left on our shift. And if y'all can see, man, at the gym, it is a absolute ghost town right now. And if y'all can see, there's nobody in here. But I mean, hey, like I said, man, look, they just read me. It's pretty peaceful here, though, you know. It's a peaceful job. I literally it's like, this is how it is whenever you walk into the gym. You walk in, I'm usually just sitting right here. I'll either be right here with the main computer for the desk, or right there, of course, chilling. There's all my stuff like food and all that stuff right there. But yeah, guys, this is the gym. The new guy, he said he's supposed to give me my check, like I said, on Wednesday. So I'm interested to see, man. Hopefully it's above $300 for how many hours that I'm working, how many people that I signed up. But like I said, it is a ghost town now. It was pretty packed in the morning. They had about 5 to 10 people, but hey, who knows, man? Who knows? Thank the Lord, guys. So I told y'all, man, that this semester of college I was struggling bad with one class. and my final grade just got put in for this one class. Some of y'all might make fun of me for celebrating a 70%, but man, I tell y'all what, the 70 is crazy. So I did good on like all these quizzes. Y'all can see like 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 100% on like all these quizzes and stuff, bro. But all of these like peruse all assignments, dude, I'm struggling like 30%. I didn't really know how to do them, but man, look at that grade right there, 70%. I tell y'all what, man, I'm gonna get through it, you know what I mean? I still got a B average and all that. And then in my other course, I ended up making a, let's see, I think it was like an 83 I showed y'all the other day. But man, I passed, man. I was worried about that one class, but I made an 82 in this class right there, 81.6, they round up. And I made a 70 on the other one. Now, my classes, I have these two coming up, this weight training here, and then I have this one coming up. Like I said, these start on the 6th, next Tuesday. But this is the only class I got to worry about right now. I do got to do an assignment for this, you know, but hey, man, like I said, praise God for helping me to pass this class, you know. I was really, like, concerned if I was even going to pass or not. But hey, man, I made it through, you know. I overcame circumstances, but yeah, guys, we got 3 hours and 10 minutes left on the shift. We're going to do this assignment I got to do for my other class. Then we're going to hit an upper body workout. And hey, I'll tell y'all what, we're heading back home because I'm a little bit tired, man. I only slept for like 6 hours last night, you know. And then I got to wake up tomorrow for the 10 to 2 shift, which that should be pretty easy. But the gym is still relatively dead. I think there's like one guy like back in the cardio room back there somewhere. But man, it's just dead here, you know. It's a real peaceful environment. But we're going to do a school assignment and then we will get headed on to our workouts. Alright, y'all, so I have not done this in a while, but I'm going to do a little bit of posing. You can see we're a little bit pumped up, hit upper body today. Did a couple exercises and all that good stuff, but let's see what the muscles look like. So, let's go ahead and see. Front side looks very good to me. Let me do one of these. Oh yeah. Alright, there looks good. And let's do a back pose. Very good right there. We still got about 45 minutes left on the clock, but honestly, this shift has been pretty quick. You know, I told y'all we got the 9 to 6 today, but anyways, I'll catch y'all before we leave. Just got off of work, everyone. It's about 6:10 right now, but before we get headed home, we got to get some gas, so let's fill up the tank and then we'll get headed down the road.